So yeah, Mount Rushmore season is back, and today we're gonna stick to the Raiders. Okay, we're gonna stick to our squad and talk about the Mount Rushmore of basically games right now on our schedule. So basically, biggest games, whether it's storyline, whether it's revenge games, hype train, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go Mount Rushmore to remind the people how it goes with just Mike and I. Someone's going to start, the next person is going to finish their first pick and then start the second round of drafting. If he picks a game that I was on my list, I got to move on and pick the next one. So, Micah, I would like you to go first.
I guess thinking about it anyways, this actually is 1-1 because I'm talking week one. Against the Chargers. It's in LA, which is basically another home game. Haha, laugh if you've never heard that before. But it's first game of the season. Khalil Mack is on the Chargers, so Khalil Mack revenge game. And we just, the last time we played in the regular season and the last time we played the Chargers, we had that insane overtime game that put us into the playoffs. So starting the season off against them, against a division rival, to really see what we're coming out with is going to be exciting. So that's going to be my 1-1 on for this so far.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go to week 17, Raiders-Niners. Whenever you get the Niners on the schedule, man, it's just, especially for just the Raider fans that I'm sure there's a lot out there that hate the Niners, it's got to be up there. We play them once every 4 years. So week 17, I mean, it could be obviously a huge game for us as far as playoff implications, and who knows what it's going to be for the Niners. But definitely just being able to play them and also playing them at Allegiant Stadium is going to be huge, having them come to Vegas. So I'm going to take the Niner game. That is my first pick because you just have to. We talked about the Niners fan base last week. Hopefully it's one of those things where they're maybe like, oh, if things do work out, like they're in the hunt, and then we just freaking drop a 40 burger on them and say, yeah, good luck next year, guys. I'm going to go that one. And then I'm going to stay in the NFC West, and I'm going to go week 14 at the Los Angeles Rams. So once again, Super Bowl champs. It's a primetime game. It's a Thursday night game. Hopefully there's a lot of playoff implications there. It's just going to be a vibe, dude. Raiders coming back to LA again. Another home game. And just a lot of, once again, hopefully that, where our season's going, the star power that's there, the two high flying offenses, Raiders coming back to LA against the defending champs on prime time. I'm taking that one. Raiders Rams week 14.
So for my number 2, I'm going week 15 against the Patriots. McDaniels, Ziegler playing Bill Belichick. At that point in the season, both teams very much could be vying for a playoff spot. They could be contending in their division. This could be a, battle for the AFC, some top standings. There's so many different things on top of the fact that McDaniels is playing Belichick. Him and Ziegler are going against their old team. My next game, number 3 pick for me, is going to be week 18 against the Chiefs. I think mainly because of the implications that could have as well. There's so many different angles of, is it going to determine who wins the AFC West? Are we going to have a chance to knock them out of the playoffs? Are they, potentially going to knock us out of the playoffs? So where does everything stand? It's the last game of the season. Can't hold anything back now. And I think it's just going to be, to have it against the Chiefs, the, perennial powerhouse, not only in our division, but in the AFC. It'll be interesting to see where everybody sits at that point, what the playoff standings look like, and then just going in to end our season against, one of our rivals. I think be a great game.
I love it. The thing about the Chiefs game is if you look at the schedule, it's a to be determined date and time.
Yeah,
so,
big flex game that could be put on a Sunday night or some type of like high end primetime game.
So my next pick, I'm gonna go back to the early part of the season. I'm gonna go the Tennessee Titans week 3 at Tennessee. It's a team that obviously has been in contention in the AFC. Obviously big news is in the offseason trading AJ Brown. Still got Derrick Henry, still got that run first defensive minded team where, Vrabel gets those guys rolling. It's going to be, once again, week 3 early on, and also a game that Meldrini has committed to taking us to in Tennessee, because the kind of guy he is, very generous, and it's in Nashville. Could be a good trip for the boys. Maybe we'll bring the podcast out there. Okay. Just early on, it's kind of a, hey, let's see where these teams stand. 2 AFC contenders battling out week 3, and the best part about it is we're going to be able to see it live because Dan's going to take us to it. So should be a fun weekend for all of us. Just waiting for him to send us like our itinerary for the flights and everything. But yeah, it's going to be a blast, and looking forward to seeing those teams battle it out week 3. And then, all right, this is my 4th one. This is going to be tough. I am going to go week 8. I'm going to go week 8 at New Orleans. Once again, a team we don't play every year. And we've just had some fun times in New Orleans. Raiders against the Saints, 2016. That was, if you remember, a big shootout game early on in the season. I think it was a week 2 game, but that was
R.I.P. and peace, Sean Smith and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, holy Toledo back then. That was when, Jack Del Rio just said, hey, we're going to go for 2 on the goal line. Raiders score. So throw it to Crabtree. Boom. 2-point conversion. We win. He does the slitting of the throat thing, gets a 15-yard penalty, but we looked past that because we won. That's when all the memes came out of big balls, Jack Del Rio, Black Jack Del Rio, whatever you want to call it. So not a lot of history, but just some good times against the Saints. It's always fun. And it's cool that we're going out to New Orleans too. And that was also too, if we had any flight delays with our Tennessee thing. I know Dan said it's all right. We'll get there in week 9. We'll go out to New Orleans. So thank you again, Dan. But it's going to be a blast. It's going to be good to see the Raiders play in the Superdome. So that's my 4th. Close us out, partner.
All right. So for my last one, my number 4, I am sticking with the storyline, the revenge game storyline, going week 10 against the Colts. Yannick Ngakoue has talked a lot not long after the trade, saying he's going to make us pay for trading him away. We got Rock his sin on that end, so he's battling his old team. Another mid-year thing where it's like the Colts are always usually good, and I always feel like going into the game we are considered outmatched to them, and then we end up beating them. And it happened, twice. Obviously, last year we always reference the I already forget his name, but he pick 6 on Jacoby Brissett like 2 or 3 years ago. Eric Harris.
Oh, Eric Harris, yeah.
There we go. So I just always feel like we go into those Colts games as underdogs and end up coming out with a win. But I think with the, storyline behind those 2 guys having revenge games, it'll be fun.
Well, that's it, my friend. So just to go through the list real quick. So Micah went number 1, week 1 against the Los Angeles Chargers. I went week 17 against the San Francisco 49ers. And then I went to the week 14 against the Los Angeles Rams. Micah went with his 2nd pick, week 15, New England Patriots. And then week 18, Kansas City Chiefs. Kicked it back to me. I went week 3 at the Tennessee Titans, and then week 8 at the New Orleans Saints. Micah closed us out with week 10 at home against the Colts. So we'll see what the fans think about the list, but excited to get back into Mount Rushmore and also be able to get back to talking about the schedule and kind of projecting some future matchups for this upcoming season. So